So hearty welcome. Good morning, everybody. Hearty welcome to Nano School, GForce AI, and G-Talk, the speech and league for schools. I really appreciate all the participants who have joined, and I can see the enthusiasm, the passion in their faces and in their participation as they join to learn, interact, as they are, looking forward to becoming or excelling in their speech and debate participations and practices. So I take this opportunity to congratulate everybody. And this session offers uh, lots of tips and strategies to enhance your public speaking and debating skills, which are very essential for participation and success in MUN, that is MUN competitions. So here, this is the ground is being set for MUN competitions. We have a lot of programs coming up. MUN replica, UN replica, Delhi chapter, Bangalore chapter, so many competitions are coming up. But before which we have to prepare our students. So this is the reason Nano School is having the mission to empower all the students, and I really thank the teachers and principals. Pushpavedi ma'am all have joined us. Thank you so much, ma'am, and the teachers for enrolling the students, and definitely we'll be empowering them. We will be preparing them for becoming and excelling best speakers and debaters, which will be bringing laurels to your institution and for their success as well, student success as well. So this forum, this particular episode is dealing with debate, speech and debating skills, and we have two young talents uh, from one is from Kerala and the other is from Tamil Nadu. And we have seen lots of students from across India, across the globe as well. So these young talents will be going to present before you their thoughts, because they have enough experience and they have been in the field of public speaking and debating and MUN and all for some time long. And let me introduce first Siddiq Jubair. Siddiq Jubair, I'm very proud to present Siddiq Jubair from Trivandrum, Kerala. He is a talented, a multi-talented personality, and I am very happy that I was his principal, and he was bringing a lot of laurels to my school, and I had the chance to visit his house, and his house is full of laurels, trophies, everything. So I was commenting, you have to build one house for all these trophies and all. So thank you so much, Siddiq Jubair. Now he is pursuing his B arc in NIT Kurukshetra. I just wish him all the very best, and he will be talking to Mukhila Mudan Ramkumar from Tamil Nadu, who is another young, talented public speaker who has participated in many MUN programs, competitions, including the latest one from that was held in Kazakhstan last year. So we will be, enriched with their experience, their, strategies, what strategies, how they have prepared for this program, for the competitions and all. So instead of me telling you through PPT and all, we can listen to them and learn, and also you can ask questions to them at the end of their talk. And uh, let me announce a few programs coming up for you. As I have announced for before, that 30 days, a 1 month program for enhancing, preparing you to enhance your public speaking, debating skills for MUN is coming up next week, and all the modalities and all the requirements, everything will be briefed in the WhatsApp group you have joined. If anybody has not joined, please contact me. We will be able to join you. And let us now hand over the platform to Siddiq Jubair, and who will be interacting, talking to Mukil Lamut and Ram Kumar. Let's wish them all the very best. Hearty welcome, Mukil Lamuthan.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the
Thank you
incredible
for
introduction.
joining. And also, Siddiq, thank you for joining. And now the platform is yours. I invite Siddiq Jubai to lead the show. Thank you. Over to Siddiq.
Okay, thank you, sir. It's my absolute pleasure to be here. I appreciate those words. Should we, beat around the bush, or should we just directly get into it?
You can have a few kind of words, introductory words, and you can directly go to Mukil Nambute.
Okay. So, as you all know, I am Siddiq Jubair. I am a student of NIT. I am pursuing my BR. I am here because I have a decent amount of experience in the field of, debating and public speaking. Uh, yeah, these are already things that have been mentioned to you. I hand it over to Mugila.
Thank you, Sadiq. Um, Vandanam, Vanakkam, Namaste, and Namaskaram to all the aspiring immuners, debaters, and the national dignitaries to have had the grace to join us in this conversation today, especially on this weekend. I am Mukil Amudan Ramkumar, the school pupil leader of Sri Seshas International Public School, Tamil Nadu, Salem. And I also identify as the Global Youth Developmental Lead for a youth voice organization called Globally Empowered on the global stage. Uh, and I've been recently conferred upon the opportunity to represent it at the World Inclusion Congress 2025, one of the very first global events of its kind that happened to happen in Almaty, the largest city in Kazakhstan. And eventually, I became the youngest keynote speaker to be invited to the most venerated Almaty Management University in Almaty itself. As an aspiring MUNer and a debater, I've had a decent, yes, work time in MUNs and debates, and I've had the fortune to have won Best Delegate awards in most of them, and will be presently conferring upon my journey into vice chairperson in some of the local chapters of MUN in my city. So yes, that's about me.
Yes, well, thank you. And one thing, I have to thank Miss Abhilasha for recommending Mukila Muthan to me. So thank you, Abhilasha, ma'am. And Siddiq Jubair, can you check your audio is not that effective, so you can hold the mic closer as you speak. You can
Okay, sir.
hold the mics closer and speak. Yeah, you can carry on.
All right. So then I say we just dive right in. I'll begin with asking Muklamudan a good question to start things off, which is to tell us a little bit more about your journey into debating, public speaking, and MUN in general.
Still, Siddiq, can you hold the mic closer and speak? That
Is it
mic
very
is
faint?
it's a bit feeble. The
Okay,
mic you are using, mic.
okay. One moment.
Okay, Mokila Mudan, you can continue. You can carry on.
Thank you, sir. First of all, my inspiration towards public speaking, honestly speaking, I started public speaking just in order to bring my ideas into life, to share my personal and positive ideas to the global stage in general. And, growing up, hearing a lot of speakers and a lot of celebrities speaking so elegantly on stages and seeing them having had the most powerful influence on the national audience they had. I think public speaking is something that is the only thing that can get you so much fame, so much recognition that ever can give you. My journey into public speaking, I'd say I don't really remember when I started crawling onto stages, but I'd say I started off with very local speech competitions and MUNs. Starting with MUNs, all the the initial people out there, struggling to balance academics and other things. MUN in the first seemed a mere extracurricular activity to me. But later on, going and exploring it, I have to give special credits to my principal, Mrs. Sailaja, for having encouraged me to participate in MUNs. And there along, my public speaking journey began. I participated in my first MUN, which happened in my very own school, and which gave me the experience that is needed, that requires to be a great speaker. So MUN in the first hand is something that encouraged me to get into public speaking. I think all the people out here would relate to me in this conquest.
Yes, Siddiq, please go ahead.
Okay. Before we start, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, yes. Better,
Okay.
better, better.
Okay. 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 That was a very interesting response. My second question to you would be, what first inspired you to step onto a stage? Like, what was the first event, and what first made you know about it and join into it?
So the first start of everything, public speaking is something that gets you the stage that no one provides you with. Something, it's a platform where you can share your personal and your own ideas and just see them turn into life. And for instance, having seen a lot of personalities coming over and taking public speaking as their conquest, I think that brought about a lot of influence into the audience they come. So I think that's a very good tool that made me realize that even without a good identity, your voice itself becomes an identity for you. I think that's the basis for public speaking.
Okay. Very powerful. Okay. So now I will be asking a more of the people's question, which is that many students fear public speaking. And so, how would you suggest someone overcome this stage fear?
Honestly speaking, even today, when I get to a stage, I can see the shackles of fear just appearing in front of my mind. Like I can still truly feel the shivering and everything that happens on stage. But eventually, if you see, the stage itself becomes your own companion with experience. So I think I suggest people and aspiring students and speakers to get to know a lot of stages. Go drag yourself to the stage and try to bring your voice onto the stage, and eventually you'll overcome. So I think you have to give time a little bit, and of course, patience, to be honest.
So it's not about like standing back and standing away. It's more about delving repeatedly into it. Yeah.
Of course, indeed.
Okay. So would you have any tips or any tricks or anything that can help?
Uh, to be speaking about like large audiences, that's one of the greatest phobias for speakers. Like when you're into a stadium and like 100 to 200 people are just watching you, and to have their grasp at a single hook is something very difficult for you. There are some several techniques I would use to when I am in front of large audience groups. The first would be the W technique, which I was taught about, where you don't focus on a very particular part of the audience. You don't speak, you don't see a very particular part of the stadium or a very small group of people. Because when you do that, you subconsciously delve into the reactions of the people. You try to analyze their faces, try to get what is going on there, everything. So I would say always swing your eyes and your body in a W direction when there is a large audience present over you, so that you don't go into a subconscious analysis of what people are thinking about you, but rather delve into delivering your speech. The other thing I would say to win the audience over is using the proper who. This is a very good thing that my advisors would say, that when you begin a speech, just begin with some basic question or a basic story and try to pull that into the topic which you're delivering it. And eventually, when you end your speech, you have to pull that hook again, so that even though your audience didn't grasp majority of the points you've delivered, they will eventually remember that particular story or the question, so that they can,
Okay.
get to know and easily remember after a very long time whatever you've delivered.
Okay. You imprint your identity onto a large part of the audience in that manner.
Yes.
Okay. That was very nice. My next question would be, how do you think students can improve the secondary parts of speech, which are like voice modulation, body language, and presentation skills?
That's a good question. Uh, to be able to develop your presentation skills, this is a very nerdy habit I have. To be honest, to admit that I go and watch several thesis videos, thesis presentations from the honorary schools of Harvard, or maybe Oxford, or the University of Toronto. I'm a science nerd basically, so I just go there and visualize something. So actually, that has helped me quite a lot in public speaking, because the thesis presentation itself is a form of public speaking where you bring about precise information and present it within a time frame. I think that's something only very few individuals in the world are able to achieve, and I think that's something more inspiring to even watch. And of course, apart from the nerdy side, I would love to suggest a lot of personalities who speak, who are my favorite personalities when it comes to public speaking. I would suggest watching Priyanka Chopra, Jonas, and Malala Yousafzai in general. I'm citing these personalities very precisely because from PC, I would say you can learn a lot about articulation and the enunciation of words to be able to bring, the typical Indian ideology onto a global stage, and that's what all MUNs are about. And Malala Yousafzai, to be particular, I would suggest you just watch her to cater to her strength and courage. Even though if you watch her speak, there is no vulnerability shown when she's speaking about her struggles or her vulnerable points. So that's very inspiring to take notes on.
Okay, so you watch enough and then you emulate somewhat based off of how you see it. Okay, okay, okay. Now, what would you have to say about daily habits that someone could implement into their life to become vector communicators? I've heard myself about, constantly reading the newspapers or reading books. Anything more than that?
So I believe to have a daily habit of, practicing public speaking, you have to be a little autistic, to be a little have an ADHD or something, because that's a satirical answer, to be honest. Uh, Yeah, of course, there are lots of information flowing here and there every day. Like we have a lot of controversies going on, a lot of things, floating about the internet every day, every single day. So I would say instead of conventional ways of like talking to a mirror or, sitting and reading a newspaper, I would say for myself, speaking with yourself works a lot to get a particular topic which is debatable upon, of course. And when you're just casually strolling through social media, of course, you would end up, knowing something, knowing about something. So I usually do this that I sit in solitude, sit with myself, like speak there are random things about anything. And I used to do it conventionally every day, and I believe that helped me lots in improving my skills, to improve the pronunciation and to articulate your thoughts into a perfect speech. I think those worked a lot for me.
Okay, okay. So, okay, moving on. Um, how important would you say is research in debate and mean, I know it's not a very, you know, it's a very straightforward answer. Anyways, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yes, as you said, that's a very straightforward answer, because if MUNs and debates are like, if you imagine it as an oak tree, of course, the trunk has to be research. Research is indeed very important, because without research, I think you would not have the confidence to be able to come to the stage and speak. And if you do, in written, have the confidence, I think, of course, you're going to be speaking controversies instead of facts. So mainly, of course, prominently in a debate or in an MUN, basic research is very important indeed.
Okay, you might dig up holes for yourself, yeah?
Of course.
Okay, okay. So coming to that point, how do you prepare arguments on topics you know little to nothing about?
Mm-hmm. That's a very good question because when you are suddenly thrown into an MUN sphere and there is something going on which has nothing to do with your own delegation. For example, if the country that you're assigned is not very much known to the people and you yourself know nothing about, what you have to do is this is where research works very well, that you have to dive very deep into documents and resources catering to that particular topic. And at that moment, if you're not able to connect a lot of things to your country with your delegation, I would say just go and attack your enemies. Just listen to your foes, to your ideological foe countries, and try to cater to points and gather support for your allies and try to cater a speech out of it. So in an MUN, in my experience with like 5 MUNs so far, I would literally say this works as good as butter.
Okay, so more about attacking than defending.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now, again, coming back to information or research, what sources should students use for reliable information?
I've had my mentors say anything but Wikipedia. This is a very satirical thing that often goes with Yammer in training because Wikipedia was once allowed to be edited by freelancing editors. So I would not say depend on Wikipedia. Of course, there is a lot of good information, but to cite a message, to cite a particular line from the Wikipedia would not be considerable in an MUN setting. I would say go and deep dive with UN archives related to the topic you're assigned to. There are a lot of documents floating in the internet, and you can actually go through them. And you should also have to research on the UN member states on the record, wherein the local body of the UN in your country would have, since time immemorial, could have release some documents on that particular topic. So you have to go and delve into these documents and try to uh, cater research. For young students here, going and dwelling into a research papers would be really time consuming. So I'd love to also suggest a lot of media houses like Beyond, which is a YouTube commemoratory platform for especially for UPSC aspirants. And of course, we've seen Mrs. Palki Sharma, going on with debates with a lot of global information. I would also suggest the BBC network. It works very good, especially for conventional MUN committees.
All right, all right. So coming back to that, what would you say about AI or AI tools that help students prepare for debates and MUN? Are they reliable? And how would one go about using them? Because we know nowadays it's all about these hyper specific prompts and everything. Yeah. So I would like to hear your thoughts.
AI is indeed magic, and to be honest, the most recent MUN I have attended, I basically went on with AI sources. I never researched anything because, it feels very much heavy to balance academics, 12th grade, and MUNs all together. So in these spaces, I believe that AI comes into play. It indeed gives a lot of things. It presumably saves your time because you can cattract like reliable sources on AI. To say, I think time consumption is something very much I hone uh, very advantageous about AI platforms. Of course, like GeForce.
Okay, GeForce, like you said, would you say there are any specific advantages of using platforms like GeForce?
Very well, yes, because conventional AI platforms do not offer you chatbot service that you're talking about, that we talked about in the introduction. I would say to not have a person in your home who does not give a damn about MUNs and who do not know about what is happening on Earth. And for a person like me, indeed, AI Force, the GeForce platform was very helpful indeed. And I was also astonished by the vocabulary platform of that application, wherein you learn a lot about different terms related to debate. That was very astonishing.
Very revolutionary technology. Yeah, the future is here.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question to you would be: how has debating helped you become a better leader? So, of course, in these MUN, scenarios, you're always, having some sort of leadership over, your co-countries or your, allies. So, how would you say it has helped you?
Oh, that's a very good question indeed. How has debating impacted me as a leader? So, in debates, you're forced to look upon the two faces of a coin. That's a real thing to be pondered about because you don't support a particular group so blindly. Blind faith is zero when it comes to debate. So it stirs your critical thinking skills. When you're on a platform, when you're in front of 100 or 200 people presenting your ideas, and a small glitch in the audience strikes you with a question, a very controversial question, and you're going to sit and ponder with the question. That really is scary for me. And I think in those cases, in stirring your critical thinking skills, I think debates would work very lot. And of course, when a problem is posed in front of you and you're forced to render a solution to that problem, that works very well in your daily life as well. When you have to make immediate decisions, may it be in your future working for big companies, I think that's where it could really help. For me personally, I'd say I was easily able to convince people of my opinions, to manipulate people. I would say I think those are very good skills that debate gives you. To me, as a person more than a leader, it has forced me to look over two sides of a story always. You can't sit with one side of the story, and sit and support blindly. You're going to intervene into it. You're going to dig deep into it. You're going to convene other person's opinions. I think that's where debating actually gets you. It's more
Mm.
interesting than what you think.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, coming over to something a little bit more, something that you can definitely answer is: how can students balance academics, extracurricular activities, and MUN participation? Going off of that, do you have any hobbies? You can include that here.
Okay, so I am an aspiring singer. I'm a trained Carnatic vocalist. I actually use it a lot in my speeches because when I spoke about the hooks, particularly when you're going to attract the audience, these kind of things actually work. In the middle of speaking, I just supposedly go to sing a song wherein the audience go like, "Oh my God, what is actually going on in here?" I think that's how you actually bring in the hook. Yeah, I do have a lot of hobbies. I do public speaking. I sing. I am a part of singing community in my city. There are, of course, a lot of things going on, and to balance them, I would say you have to delve a lot into neuroscience, and there is a lot of terms floating about in the internet, if I'm not wrong about, which is meta learning, the will to learn a lot, to the will to balance learning holistically as an individual. We are not focusing on academics, we're not focusing on particular part of your career, but entire thing as well. I'm also an athlete for sure. I I've recently turned into a fitness freak, so I will not comment on that. So to balance all this, I would say you to learn a lot to control your mind. Meditation works magically for me. I wouldn't say like sit and do it for like 2 hours, 3 hours straight. and become a yogi and all. But just start the practice for like 10 minutes. I just do it for 10 minutes every day. So it works a lot for me.
Okay, couple deep breaths. Yeah. Okay. Now, other than that, tell us about a challenge that you faced and how you overcame it. Like something a little personal here.
Challenges are everywhere. Okay. This is a very good part that speakers in particular, but people in general have to overcome is catering to the different opinions of random people. I think that's a very good thing that you have to develop to not give anything about people's opinions. Because even as a speaker, as an established speaker, I've done a little thing as a speaker, and even when I'm about in these stages, I've heard ridicules of me. If there are 98 comments on me, like praising me, there will be, of course, two comments against the work we do. But what our mind is designed to is to look at only those two comments and put pressure on yourself. That particular challenge, I think I would say, is to accept the fact that your audience is diverse. There will be a lot of good opinions, lot of bad opinions. But the way you're going to cater is only the good ones. And if the bad comments are worthy of taking into your mind, just take it, work on yourself. And of course, there is a lot of training and a lot of experience needed when it comes to putting up with people's words. So over time, you have to teach yourself that it's okay to receive negative comments and it's okay to be hated by some people.
Okay. Thank you for those quite insightful words. Now we're moving on to something a little bit more fun. Okay, we're gonna have a rapid fire. Are you up for it? Okay. So here we go. One word that defines a great speaker.
Confidence.
Confidence. Okay. Now, what was the best MUN committee you've been a part of?
I would say fantasy committee, but when it comes to conventional ones, I would say UNICEF.
Okay. Who's your favorite world leader?
Wow. For now, I would say Zoran Mamdani, who has become the face of Gen Z politics. That would be, of course, a savage answer. So I would go with Rob Jetten, the Prime Minister of Netherlands.
Okay. Now, what about a book every student should read, according to your opinion?
Oh my God. Personally, I'm a fiction reader, so I would always suggest fiction books. When it comes to thinking skills and putting yourself in the eyes of different sections of the society, if you want to see the world in a different lens, in fiction itself, I would suggest Chitra Banerjee. Uh, yeah, she would be my favorite author.
Okay. If you had to pick only one, would you stick with debating or would you stick with MUN?
That's really a good question because often people misunderstand that debate and MUNs are the same. But in an MUN, there is a lot going on more than debates. You're going to write resolutions, you're going to solve a problem, you're going to suggest new things instead of, randomly shouting at two people. So I would, of course, say MUN.
Okay. Now, I have two things on a scale: preparation and confidence. Which one would you lean more towards to back yourself up in an MUN?
Preparation or confidence? I would say both because they both are interdependable. And without the either, the other one loses.
Fair. Okay. My next question: one skill every future leader must develop. Is it reading? Is it communication? Is it research? Which one would you pick? One skill. One skill.
One skill that everyone has to put up with is to present controversial ideas in a more meaningful way, to manipulate people. That's very good indeed. I've learned it the hardest way possible.
Okay. And now, that fun session. And now for a little bit more elaborative, a grand closing question of thought. What does it truly mean to be a champion speaker in today's world?
To be a champion speaker in today's world, as I've already remarked upon, is that how you bring different notions of different people to the public eye. That is, you may have a lot of controversial things going on around you, but to pick up that particular controversy and to be able to present it without making the audience go niche is something a very good skill that every speaker and that I think very few people in the world are able to do that. To be posed upon with very much intellectually twisting questions and to answer with so much dignity and courage. I think only few people, I would say our own external affairs minister, Dr. Jay Shankar, is my inspiration, of course. I would suggest all of you to go and watch all of his interviews. So I think that's one skill that everyone has to develop and not everyone can handle it.
Okay, thank you so much for those answers. They were very, very insightful. I think that wraps up my question session. It's been fun with talking to you. Uh, Now I hand over the mic to anyone here, anyone who has any questions to any of us.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Before that, see, uh, Mukhilamuthan Ramkumar, very proud of you. Your
Thank
school
you, sir.
must be very proud of you. And please convey our gratitude to your principal, teachers, mentors, and all. Thank you so much. And there is a lot to learn from you. And to Siddiq, can I ask what is your observation about Mukhilamuthan's speech?
Okay, I think he's very very insightful. I've been using that word so much by now, but like he has this clarity of things. He's been in the regime in the field long enough. He knows a bunch of stuff. When what he says about preparation and what he says about having an imprint of yourself within the entire audience, or how to handle speaking to large crowds is a very very nice personality, I'd say. And he has long ways to go, and I think we'll be seeing him more often somewhere.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So we have, observed a lot of things in you, which, our young aspiring MUN debating students will, learn from you. So we request you to be with us, associate with us, and because, you have the potential, you have the talent to excel in that field, and you have a very good future. And the participants must have observed a lot of things in Mukhilamuthan, lots of knowledge, very scientific presentation, very scientific presentation, very composed, in a composed manner. So this is his dedication and his preparation for public speaking and presentations and all. So a lot to learn. We understand we have to learn a lot to become a public speaker, a debater, or a participant in MUN. So when we were talking about, both of you must have tried GForce, gforce.com, graceandforce.com. So when you were talking about GForce AI, so I would like to add to it that, when you are debating with the GForce, there are lots of, features available. You can learn the, so you can learn the among terms, and you have a lot of vocabulary exercises and all, and also you can debate with the AI. The advantage is you get the immediate result, right?
Mhm.
And you can also learn how the way AI is giving input, you should be that much compatible, and there is a room for that gives room for improvement from your side. So there is, so you must have watched last the inauguratory episode of Ambassador TP Srinivasan debating with AI. So I think I played it in the beginning, but now that most of the participants are here, let's play for them, and we can understand how GI is helping in the field of education, especially in the field of what do you call public speaking. So here we have, let me take it, the debate thing for you. Debate battle, yes. So we had a debate battle with Ambassador Srinivasan having with AI. Let's listen to it and see how it works.
I'm very happy to introduce to you a new AI program which enables students. As this mechanism topic for this session is reform of the UN Security Council. Before we begin, which country would you like me to represent? United States. This delegation of the United States of America is now in session. The United States firmly opposes any reform that would dilute the veto power of the 5 permanent members, as this mechanism ensures that resolutions reflect the consensus of the world's most capable and accountable powers. The current structure of the Security Council has maintained global order for over 70 years, and this delegation sees no compelling reason to fundamentally alter a system that continues to serve international peace and security. This delegation now challenges you. Which country are you representing? And what is your opening position on Security Council reform? I am the Indian delegate. I am of the firm view that one of the fundamental weaknesses of the United Nations right from the beginning is the veto. Because of that reason, United Nations has been in the last 70 years or so, has been most ineffective because any single country, one of the 5 permanent members, can veto any resolution. So how can you reach consensus or come to an agreement when 5 countries have extra authority? And that removes the democratic character of the UN itself. This delegation of the United States acknowledges India's concern. However, we firmly reject the characterization that the veto renders the UN ineffective. Rather, it prevents reckless resolutions that could destabilize global security without the backing of major powers. Furthermore, this delegation would remind the Indian delegate that India itself has benefited from US diplomatic support in various international forums, and undermining the veto would equally strip India of any future permanent seat leverage should it ever join the Council. If India seeks a permanent seat, would it not want the protection of a veto for its own national interests? And is the Indian delegation prepared to formally state that it would refuse veto powers even if granted a permanent seat? Well, we would not like to be a permanent member without the veto power. Because the problem is, if you are a permanent member, you are constantly debating issues around the world. And if there is no protection of the veto, we will not be able to give attention to various issues. And therefore, permanent membership should have veto, as long as some countries have the veto. If everybody does not have the veto, we would not also press for it.
So that was the experience we have had with AI. So students, you need somebody to debate with you, right? So you may not be finding a suitable opponent. Here is graceandforce.com GeForce AI. So I have put up the link in the chat box. You can try, and you try debating. You can there is a try version that is for free of charge for you. You can try debating. All the tips have been given. Now we will take your questions, and also the 30 days program is coming up, and we'll be able to give you the modalities and requirements and all, and the chat box we will be posting all the details for you to join. And if anybody has not joined our WhatsApp group, there is a dedicated group for you. Many are there. If anybody hasn't joined, so you can join. I will post the link here in the chat box. Meanwhile, Siddiq, you can take questions which will be answered by Mukil.
All right,
Questions,
sir.
I think you please name participants, name your window with your names, okay? It is the first raised hand is Waffle Wanders. So that may be a nickname. So you can, uh, you can ask your question. Master Waffle, yeah.
Yes, sir. Can I?
Come on to your camera, please. Come on to your
One sec,
camera.
sir.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can I start, sir?
Yes, yes.
Well, myself, my name is Ritish Darshan, and my question here is, during crisis, how to develop the spontaneity? Like within a second, how can we prepare the thing which we need to tell? That is my question.
Very good question indeed. During a crisis, of course. I would love to cater to an experience of myself when I was assigned the delegation of Russia in one of my committees. And the topic constantly is human rights. So you can feel the contrast here. Russia does not even go on very well with human rights. So when in a such crisis and to be put up in, yes, of course, as you said, this, to maintain spontaneity, I'd say, as I already remarked, research is very important in accordance with managing these spontaneous questions. And as I already said, you have to develop your critical thinking skills by watching a lot of to assess the spontaneity of several people. As I suggested, Dr. S. Jaishankar, you can watch a lot of videos about him. And if the crisis is against your delegation, it is more that you try to bring relevant stuff to your delegation. For example, when I was a delegate of Russia, and suddenly the crisis was that the Russian invaders have recruited a lot of slaves, and Russia has to defend it. So when I was such put up in such a difficult situation, you know what I came up with? I came up with that we have given board to all these refugees. We have created employment opportunities for these refugees, and that's how you defend yourself in such a situation. So spontaneity, you have to develop it over time. That's all I'd say.
Okay, I hope that answers this question. Moving on, I call Dania Sharif for
Before
a
that,
question.
we have Siddhant. Siddhant. So
Siddhant.
can we go for Siddhant?
Sir, is there some order?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm not aware. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Siddhant, you speak. Please ask your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for calling me. I would like to ask Mr. Ram Kumar some questions. My first question is, how do you get registered into an MUN? And please explain MUN and their functioning and something about the communities and something that you would like to add that could further enhance the speaking of some delegates sitting here.
Yeah, we have to still the basics from the first, of course. So, how to register for an MUN? There are a lot of local MUNs, local bodies, local schools operating in the MUN system. So, I usually go for social, having the help of social media. There used to be a lot of local MUNs, online MUNs floating on Instagram, if you're aware of it. To give an introduction, a brief commentary on MUN about committees, I would say an MUN works the same way as the United Nations. Of course, why is it called a model United Nations? So you have a lot of committees, a lot of people sitting in a committee termed as delegates, and you'll be debating on each issue. For example, we have a committee called, say, WHO in the UN. So that's basically what you do in an MUN. You sit as the representative of different countries. You're not assigned the same country as you're in. You will never be always India. You'll be assigned different country. So it shows how much you have put efforts into knowing about that country, how you're going to defend your country against crimes that are catered to that particular issue. And that's how simply MUN works. To actually know how an MUN works, just enroll into an MUN first.
Okay, thank you. So why should we look around for MUN since GForce has its own MUN, UN replica? So we'll give the details to join, and let's take the next question from Dania Sharif. Siddiq, Dania Sharif, can we allow?
Yes.
Yes. Dania, please. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, as you know, I'm going to 8th standard as school's opening very closely. So I wanted to know how I can enter into an MUN and what I can do to improve my speaking skills and everything else.
How to get into an MUN? Just now, Sir has remarked that there is a replica MUN that's going to be held in
Indian
different
replica.
cities across India.
Yes.
So, of course, I would encourage you to participate in one of them and to improve your public speaking skills. Get enrolled into a lot of MUNs firstly. Because eighth standard, that's a very incredible age to sit in the weekend and hear to all people sitting speaking about random stuff. So first start preparing for speeches, preparing for an MUN, and try to gain more experience. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, as you said, how can I enroll into an MUN?
Like as I remarked, there are a lot of MUNs. Which city do you belong? By the way.
Kerala. Rishi.
Kerala,
Oh,
Kerala.
so of course there are a lot of we will I would always encourage sir to conduct
Yes, yes.
more
Please be connected with us.
MUNs in Thrissur so that
Yeah.
our students can participate well.
Yes, yes, yes. And thank you. Dania, okay. So you can unmute and now we'll go to see participants. If any question is, you have any question you have and it is already answered means please do not repeat. Let's have, different questions so that we can, save the time. So, Siddiq, next in line.
Okay, next on my list, I see Adarsh SP Tambi.
In my line, it is actually Aditya. So I am unmuting Aditya.
All right. I think we have different lists, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's, on the participants list we can see, yeah.
Yes, I would like to fire my question to Ram Kumar. One thing, how do you like actually form a block in an MUN and how do you present your moderated caucus?
It's a very good question indeed. Thank you for the question, Aditya. To form a bloc, to understand what a bloc is, that's a set of countries who support each other. So you're not going to go and convene your best friends in an MUN or the people you know in an MUN and randomly form a bloc. A bloc is a situation where countries who support a particular ideology form together to come up with a common resolution or the result paper. How to form a bloc? It simply rests with the ideology of your delegation, of your country. If it is, for example, if you have USA, we never partner with Russia. So that basic ideology is something you have to develop. And in most cases, it's very evident that in some cases, very evident to form blocks. It's very easy. That so because it simply rests with your country's ideology because you're the representative of the country.
Hmm. Okay.
Thank you.
Done. Okay, done. Siddiq, next.
All right, sir. Again, Adarsh SP Tambi. Can you ask your question?
Others. So in my screen, I think it is Satvika. Maybe, it's different. So can
I
you
don't think
unmute?
it's in any particular order. It's just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a random collection.
So Satvika, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Satvika, and my question for the day is that how do you manipulate your force, especially when faced with controversial questions, without admitting that you're wrong? How do you do that?
That's a very mind-stifling question indeed. To be able to manipulate your flows. Uh, so when controversial questions are thrown at you, first I would say have the confidence to oppose them. That you're not going to definitively defend your country, but also not you're going to let them manipulate you into believing that you're on the opposite side of the problem. So what I would suggest is to first have the confidence to project, to openly state that yes, this particular controversy exists in my country, and to manipulate them that it is not a part of your in an effort to defend your country, I would say to cite better things that is happening in your country. For example, when I was put up as, of course, I would come to Russia. The first ever question I was asked was about LGBT rights in Russia, which is a very controversial topic to take on, which is very much hard for me to answer. So how we flip the script is that we take up human rights issues in their country and ask them back in one side. On the other side, I would ask you to uh, give defenses on other human rights uh, solutions in Russia, like the very example I've stated.
Attacking, not defending. It's powerful. It's powerful. Sir, who do we have next?
Yeah, Satyuga, is it answered? We are going to Bani. Okay. Bani Nagar, please unmute.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
You are audible but not visible. We are visible. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now am I visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Um, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am Bani, a student of 10th grade at Vibgya High Yelahanka. My
Okay.
question is for
I was the
Ram.
principal there. Do you remember me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My question is for Mr. Ramkumar. So I have an MUN coming up. I am delegate of Nigeria in UNHRC. What last minute preparation tips would you suggest? Before you go on suggesting tips, I think I should tell you what all research I have done so far, if that's relevant. So I've done like a basic analysis of Nigeria. I used the CIA World Factbook for that. I've read through my background guide, and I've also used Perplexity to help me with Modcock topics and DR points because I had to contribute something when my block was having meetings. What other last minute preparation tips would you suggest?
Very nice question indeed. And as the delegation of Nigeria, in particularly a committee like the HRC, I'd suggest you to, of course, go through good points on in the facet of when speaking about Nigeria. The other part you have to very well research are these controversial questions, are the undefendable areas where Nigeria fails. You're going to research on them. You're going to research on the cons of Nigeria and try to defend and try to defend the points in particular the Nigerian country. I think that would suffice you because to defend major problems with your nation, I think the halfway is solved in an MUA. Hope the answer is. I think the
Is that
question is.
answered, Bani?
Yes, it was answered. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Vaiga, please. Vaiga SR. Vaiga, please unmute and ask, or else we will go to the next. Paulina Singh. Paulina Singh, please unmute. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I am Paulina of 7th grade. I recently had an MUN in which my committee was Gen Safe committee, and
which is your city?
What, sir?
Where are you from?
Sir, Noida.
Noida. Okay. Go ahead, please.
So my portfolio was Luxembourg. My country is not so visible in that state. That particular topic, which was LGBTQ rights and online protection of all genders. So how can I prepare a speech which is impactful without showing aggression, and how can I expose contradictions of other countries without sounding disrespectful?
It's a very good comment on it, Paulina. To be able to defend your delegation when you're not so much aligned with the topic of your committee, I would say to take up famous quotes told on by the very famous people in your delegation, and try to use it as a backbone in support for your country. So, of course, as you or yourself remarked, that Luxembourg does not stand very right with LGBT rights itself. I suggest you to take up some. There would be, of course, some news in the archives, somewhere incidents in the archives that could be defendable, and that's where the research holds upon. You have to dwell a lot into. That's a very good thing to know about the cons of your country. First, know the disadvantages of the country. Try to defend it very well. So, in order to defend yourself in such a situation, to have an impact over the other countries, you can always go for in support of your friendly countries, or else in stark contrast, in stark position to your four countries. To, I would say, not to sound disrespectful is not something I would really suggest in an MUN setting, because in an MUN setting, you are obliged to go and contrastly oppose other countries. That's where, so if you're not in good support of any other, then just go and oppose them. That's a very good strategy indeed. So if you're, without sounding disrespectful, is in the way you cater your points, is in the way you quench your sentences. But to starkly contrast the other countries, I would say take good points on your enemy countries.
That was very well answered. Moving to Aradhya, sorry, Randeep.
I want to ask one question that how can we prepare a speech in short time on any country advantages or disadvantages and how to become social?
Randeep, which grade are you in? Which city? Randeep.
I am from Badurgarh, Jhajjar, and my class is ninth.
Ninth, okay. Okay, Mukil, please take it up.
Okay, I suppose the question is about how to prepare elegantly in a very short time for an MUN.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're out of time, of course, take the help of AI platforms like GeForce AI. I will lovably comment on it because that's a very good, huge platform to be able to, shut down your research in a very short span of time. And to be able to study them and understand them very well, you can of course go with the chatbot facility in the same AI platform, and to have as many as mock debates with the AI or any other person who are into debating. So in a very short time, indeed, do the research quickly, gather your positive points. Importantly, gather your negative points and try and gather points to defend them.
Yes, good. All right, so Randeep, you just follow what Nikhil has told you because we have very short of time. You have very short of time. And moving to Realme, please name yourself, your window. Otherwise, we are going to Shisa Fatima. Shisa, or please unmute. Yes.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is that, like, how can a delegate effectively survive in a committee when a portfolio's official stances offers very few strong points of defense? Like, what are the strategies that could be used to remain influential in a debate and resolution drafting despite these limitations? How can they possibly survive in such committees?
Okay, now I'm getting to know that you learn a lot of survival skills in an MUN. That's really true. Because to be a
Yeah.
very primitive delegation in your committee and to be able to oppose, sounding forces like the US, the Russian Federation, or the PRC, it's a real difficult, of course. I would suggest you to, yes, of course, form a block, to form a support for yourself. And if there is a good bait country that you can actually dwell on, like the conventionally powerful countries in the UN, and if you're able to form a block with them, of course that would help you. And it is always in the way you're going to present yourself in a committee. Although you are a very invisible nation in such a global platform, it is in the way you as a delegation bring your country forward. It's not about the country, but it is you always. So build up the research.
Okay, so actually, can I bring this question to my portfolio?
Of course, yes.
Let's say I'm the delegate of Sri Lanka, and my debate topic, the agenda, is something about discussing the debt crisis. How do I survive it? I don't think I have any points to support myself with that. How can I survive with that?
Is it a crisis against your country?
It's the main agenda.
Okay.
Let's say in IMF, if I'm the delegate of Sri Lanka there with such a non-supportive topic, how can I survive in that?
Oh, that's where your analytical skills come in. To be able to survive in a crisis, of course, it's a very difficult task indeed to be posed upon. The crisis may be about a very random country where you have no say in it. Of course, as I've remarked, go on found block in that situation. Uh, See where your country lies with the rest of the world and try to gather as much support as you can. Only, in such situations, you either are going to support a particular country and raise your voice, or you're going to gather support from different countries. That's what you have to do. Blocking, making blocks and trying to convene logistics for your support is something I would suggest. That's the
Thank
only
you
thing
so
you can
much.
survive.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, done with Shrisa. Now moving to Vehant. Vehant, Ritvik. Vehant, which class, which grade are you in?
Seventh, sir.
Namaste, namaste. Good morning. Which grade?
Good. Seventh, sir.
9, 7th,
Seven.
7, 7. Okay, your question, please.
What is the best way to handle a question from the opposing team without losing my thought?
That's a very good question indeed, Behant. To be able to handle such, spontaneous questions without having to show fear on your face. That's where real confidence steps in. You have to build confidence as a speaker first, and you have to take you must take 1 or 2 minutes time to think, give a thought about what's being asked. And of course, you would have read about something or the other in your, while doing your research for the MUN. Of course, you could have stumbled upon that topic any once. And if not so, you can always answer via chits in an MUN. You can, openly state, I'm going to answer via chit, which is using a paper for communication. And when you pass it to via the EB, which is the chairpersons, it will be recognized. But I always suggest you to answer the question on spot. But in very rare cases, if you're not able to, you're like about losing your thought, you can actually use this strategy.
Okay, Vehant.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Going to Ira. Ira, please unmute.
Hello.
Yes,
So
Ira,
my
please
question
speak.
is,
Yeah.
yes, sir. My query is similar to the question posed by Satvika earlier. Even after researching in case of a right to reply question, as in direct yielding, how can I improve my rebuttal skills so I sound more confident and ready when I'm hit with a question that stumps me?
Okay, so in spite of research skills, what are the other things you have to dwell on? The first, I would say, yes, in a right of reply, of course. I would say basically to defend yourself in such a situation is really hard as I can get it through the screen. A lot of questions have been asked regarding it. So beyond research skills, what you have to build on is the profile for your country. Is the uh, you know the positive side of your own delegation. So if you are put up you're put up on the pedestal and made on a right of reply to answer or defend the statement you have put earlier, I would say how to develop your rebuttal skills. So of course, research plays a very good role, I think, but always you're not aware of whatever that's going on in there. So first, build your confidence. You're not going to let down your country. The second thing, not to give up about your country, is that there's a lot of positive things that you must have researched about your country. So in those cases, what you're going to do is flip the script. You're going to handle the situation more elegantly rather than beating around the bush. If a controversy is posed upon your country, take that controversy, state that yes, we are openly challenging it, we are faced with challenges as any other country in the room, and try to put back the question to the nation itself. Question back the nation itself. What rights do you have to question me? And that's where your question will stand for.
I think done with Ira. Okay, Siddiq, take the next one in your line. No problem. You have to unmute them. Okay, please.
Okay, sure. I'd ask for Sumaya Praveen.
Hi, I am 10th grade. I live in UAE, Calculation English School, Sharjah. My question is, many 10th or 12th grade students hesitate to join because of board exam pressure in MUN. How can students balance both while still excelling academically and developing leadership skills?
That's a very good question. I would love to answer because I'm myself a 12th grader, and to be, having only one day off and to be able to sit here and, answer all these questions. I'd say to be able to develop that balancing skills is in the way you design yourself. As I've already remarked upon, build that confidence in yourself because you are the voice of your own, you're the leader of your life, you're going to decide where your energy flows into. So, to be able to balance everything, of course, to reduce the time spent in research, you can, of course, rely on AI platforms. And to build the leadership skills, of course, you have to dwell into the leadership arena and try to make your voice available. Try getting onto more stages. Try answering different questions. Try convening a lot of diverse opinions from people so that you can actually build a very own character, good character for yourself. And especially with 10th and 12th graders, I can really put up with your efforts and stress because I myself I am a PCMB student, and to manage all of this is of course a big headache for me. I'm very much astonished that even today's morning I picked up a handful of hair from my head. That was really traumatizing, of course. So to manage everything is a really good skill you have to develop early in life. So very small habits actually work, like as I've remarked, like meditation for just minutes, just concentrating your thoughts, journaling in general, that helps me quite a lot.
Okay, thank you. And before we proceed to the next question, see, children, we have, I have posted the graceandforce.com link in the chat box and join, created your account, you start practicing, and this is the best way to get an opponent for you. You need somebody, stronger to become, to make you stronger in debating. So you can learn all the art of debating, speaking, and all there. So Grace and Force is the platform you have to join, create your account, and also if you, there are lots of, lots of gifts for you there. We are offering so many things for you so that you will be using this platform for your benefit and success. We are just motivating you to use it. So there are lots of incentives for you, motivation for you. You have bonus tickets and coins and all. You can name a friend and you will get some more time and coins, and also you have a lot of things there. The only objective is our mission to empower you to utilize the platform, the opponent for you to master the art of public speaking and debating. So all of you, gracesignforce.com is the platform. Just at a click you can do it, and the more information will be posted in the WhatsApp group. And Siddiq, please take the next question.
All right, sir. I'd like to ask Gautam Estar. Gautam Estar. Yeah, you're not audible.
Gautam, you are not audible. You
Yeah.
please check your mic. Meanwhile, we will go to the next participant. We will take a few questions, and the rest of the questions we will take in the next episode. Okay? Siddiq, please move forward.
Okay, let's ask Darshan DS. Darshan.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Darshan. I'm studying in 7th standard. Today, I'm here to speak about this moon on Earth. I will try my best to present my points clearly and confidently. Thank you for this opportunity. Today, my question is: if countries have different economic strengths, how can MUN ensure equal voice and fair decision making for all nations?
Wow, that's a very intellectually sided question of today's episode. When economically countries are weak, how could an MUN ensure that they are equally represented? I think that's the sole purpose of the United Nations itself, to give representation, to give voice to different countries. So how can an MUN do it? MUN is simply you becoming the entire country and trying to defend, may it be socially, may it be economically. So how can an MUN in general achieve this? Is all about, it shows a lot about you as a person, as a committee, as a delegate. How you're going to defend you in the committee, how you're not going to give up on your country even when crisis is faced by your own country. So it's all about the delegates who are shaping that particular MUN.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
go to the next. Yeah, we can take 3 more questions, then we can wind up. Okay. The rest of the
Okay.
participants, don't worry. We are coming up with another, MUN master next in the next episode. Keep connected. Okay, Siddiq, please go ahead.
How about we go with Swati?
Hello, my name is Swati. I'm from Chennai. I'm in 10th grade and I have attended a few MUNs before and I have 2 questions. So, like, when we're talking, how do we know that what we're talking is a strong argument? Like, what if it just sounds strong but it isn't? And my next question is, what do the childs like notice that we don't think they would notice when we're talking?
Nice question indeed. To have an impact over the audience, I would say it is in the way you deliver the points. So if you yourself think that something is a prominent point, pause yourself before addressing it. Try to higher your voice. Try to speak with an impact when that particular point comes. So how would you know that something is relevant to the topic? Of course, the topic of course lies within the agenda, the content that you're speaking. So how you're going to recognize the importance of the point is where it shows about how you have understood the topic first. So if you have understood it well, you know that some point is so important in so much difference with your country. So when you're addressing it, higher your voice, give a pause between it, and try to make it sound impactful.
I hope that answers your question.
Sir.
Next. Okay. Next.
Sir, can you hear me?
Vaiga is speaking.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've been unmuted for a long time, so I was unsure whether to speak out. Can
What's
I
your
ask my
name?
question?
What's your name?
Vaiga.
Okay, go ahead, please.
First of all, sorry for the interruption. Good morning, sir. Throughout this
Morning.
session, you've shared several experiences from your MUN and public speaking journeys. So, looking back on that journey, what would you say was the biggest shift in your mindset that contributed to your growth as a speaker and a delegate?
Very great question, indeed. And thank you so much for addressing me, sir, even though like I'm just a school student right now. I'm not your sir. To be honest, a shift in your mindset uh, that that I would look back today as a speaker is, of course, as I already remarked, putting up with people's opinions and to be able to, handle the criticism exposed upon you is so much a good skill that you're going to develop. And if you think that you belong in a place, you belong on stage, you belong to a higher position, automatically what happens is that your mentality shifts, and what and your mindset will be reflected in your speeches as well. So as a speaker, have a particular mindset, have a particular ideology. Eventually, your voice becomes an identity. Not long ago, I was just a 12th standard student sitting somewhere, in a city in Tamil Nadu. But now, I'm just sitting here answering all of your questions. So that's the shift in mentality that gives you.
Okay. Could you also recall a situation in a committee where things didn't go according to plan? So, how did you adapt in that moment?
Wow, that's a very good question indeed. I would say I would lean back to a fantasy committee I was admitted to. It was Ponniyin Selvan, if you've heard of the story. It was already being remade into a film by the most venerated Mani Ratnam in Tamil, Tamil cinema. It was a great hit. So the debate was basically about the Ponniyin Selvan movie, and I was assigned the chief king of the Chola army, which is Sundara Cholan. And in that particular committee, they made me dead. The crisis was that I am perished, and who will lead the next generation of Cholas, which is indeed a very heartbreaking moment for a delegate like me, because to have had me killed myself and to go on discuss about the future of my kingdom. How I handled it, first of all, it is that you go to have handled it, I would say, because I can't support the either of them because both are my sons. I have to defend them the either way. So what you do in a particular situation like that is you stand neutral. So this is a very good point indeed, because when you're not in an opposition, not in the support of anything, you stand neutral. And to be able to stand neutral is something very much unique in a committee. And to use that in your defense lies within your talent, because you're going to stand neutral and you're going to stand out. That means that you're put in a special place, and if you're going to use that special place in a better way, I would say how I handled it would be I proposed union between the two of my sons without having to go to war.
Hmm.
So you sometimes stand on neutral positions like this.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry that I took time to recollect what happened exactly at that moment.
Siddiq, take the last question.
Okay, I think we should go with Himanshu Jangra.
Unmuted.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I am audible.
Yes, yes.
I am Manshi from 9th D. My question is I need confidence to speak on stage. How can I build my confidence?
Where you from?
From Haryana.
Haryana. Okay. So we were talking about confidence and all at the beginning. So we will share the recording also. Okay, you can watch again, and if any more tip is there, Mukhil, you can share.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
To have held this question indeed shows your confidence. So I don't think there's so much more to building your confidence.
Yes.
But many more tips to confidence. I would say, of course, experience acts a very, plays a very good role in shaping your confidence. So go back to stages, get a lot of questions from different perspectives, try to answer them, develop, develop as a speaker in general.
Okay, okay. And well, I think K. Bayani had a question in the beginning. What is the duration of the session? So we are going to end, don't worry. And also, we'll take your question. You can, ask the last question you can ask. And also, this recording, as you had asked, this recording will be shared with everybody. Okay. Bayani, please unmute and ask. Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes,
Of
you are.
Yes, please speak.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I know this is a simple question. I don't know if it's been repeated, but I wanted to ask, like, how do you handle nervousness on stage, and like, how do you stick to the points that you have?
As we have pondered already, if you're given a mic on the stage, I would always suggest you to hold the mic and deposit your nervousness into the mic, probably, because that works well for me. Because of course, I can relate to the shivering and everything on the stage. So that particular thing to grasp the mic and quench it until it dies, it's something that works for me. And to handle that nervousness, of course, as I said, you don't look at particular part of the audience very long because automatically what you're going to do is to analyze their faces and try to, you know, uh, see whether you're actually not boring or not. That's something that you actually don't want. So, face the audience in a W technique, swing your eyes in a W technique, focus on each part of the audience time to time, and either ways, your nervousness will fly away.
Very well answered. I think hope Bayani is happy. Siddiq, you can wrap up the session, and I'll take this opportunity to appreciate all the participants. At the same time, Mukhil and Siddiq Jubair, thank you so much for taking out your precious time. We know that Mukhil is in grade 12 and Siddiq is in his first year of BR, so must be having a lot to cope up with. So thank you so much, and valuable, very very valuable inputs Mukhil has given, and Siddiq also has contributed a lot to today's session. Thank you so much to both of you and everybody. Keep connected, and Siddiq, please wind up with your closing remark.
Okay. Firstly, I thank you for the call up and the opportunity itself. And I thank Mukhilabudan for his time. And he's nothing shy of an expert in this field. So I thank him for his words and answers to the multiple questions that he's been faced with today. I thank everyone for being such an attentive audience, and I thank the organizers once again. What more to say? Keep speaking, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing that you have a voice that deserves to be heard. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. And as I said before, please join gracesignforce.com. That is the best way to go forth with MUNs, MUNs. Okay, we are coming up with a UN replica in major metro cities and in your schools also. So we will be coming, and you can just register. Now you register with Grace and Force, then we will be adding you to our MUN. And also you can start practicing your debating and speaking skills free of cost. It's very free there now. And in depth you are going means you have to subscribe. So, and also we are going to give you a full-time mentor I'm talking about the 30 days program that is coming up with a full-time mentor and the GeForce AI combined. All right, keep connected. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mukil and Siddiq and everybody. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, sir, first of all, for having given me this opportunity. And thank you, Siddiq, for almost a very fun, fun-loaded conversation. And it was honor meeting both of you. Thank you so much. And thank you to Mrs. Abhilasha Singh for introducing me into this. Hope you'll stay connected after this.